welcome back to Gear Chat. Welcome back to Gear Chat University. Ding. I tune in to get you. I tune in to Gear Chat. You. Cut it off, John G. Cut it off. We don't want to hear that anymore.
Welcome back to Gear Chat.
Yeah. I wish. Raindrops fall. I wish. John G. Gear Chat. I'm back with Gear Chat. And today, you already know it. John G. We already know John G. We already know. Arturia. I just want to give a single ovation. Is that an ovation? Ovation? I just want to give a single applause to Arturia for, again, where'd this come from? Now let me bag up. Here is obviously, what is obvious to me is they done dropped, the new mini brew. Dope. Okay. So it's only logical that next to come would be the micro series of the new brew ecosystem with the modular setup. So I'm sure that's gonna come soon. That's what I just knew. And if by some idiotic chance, I'm not gonna say idiotic, by some off chance that Arturia, you guys were not thinking that immediately. Are you kidding me? So to me, that was just the basic or the most logical course of events, was that sometime next year is what I was, I wouldn't think they would do it in the same year because they didn't do the original in the same year. So next year, around the same time, we can expect, or maybe later in the year next year, we can expect to get the microbrew bumped up, refreshed with the ecosystem smaller, all of that. But I did not think, honestly, there would be a drum brew coming out anytime soon, let alone a smaller one. So let's stop right there, because again, I got to give a single applause to Arturia. That is brilliant. I love it. To come out with a a new drum brew, but then make it smaller, adding some of the features, because it's smart. I'm looking at the genius of it. The genius. I can't say the word. the geniusness, if I'm saying that correctly. The genius, all right? Not that, but the other word, whatever. It's a genius thing, and I love it because instead of just making another drum brew and fixing the problems of the community or addressing some of the things that we want more, like more decay and things of that nature. Instead of just giving us that right away, they kind of milk us. First, you give us this, then the next drum brew, there will be some adjustments made in terms of, adding this, taking this away, and so on and so forth. But again, the drum brew is called the drum. Is it called drum brew? The drum brew impact. Now, from listening to it, I saw 4 videos today. The first one was by Arturia. Dude playing and the girl dancing and whatnot. And whatever. It's just a showpiece. Doesn't really dive in. It kind of sounded the same. But the main thing that I said, uh-oh, was the distortion. They added distortion to it. And it affected the sound. I was like, okay. Because it was starting to kind of sound like the original. I wasn't really hearing a whole lot of difference. So I'm like, is it really just the same thing, just kind of smaller? Which would be like, okay. However, it's not. So then the next one I watched was by Lou Pop or Loop Op. I've still never heard this gentleman say his channel's name. If you out there, if he sees this, all right. Maybe you have said it, not just because I don't watch like every minute of, all the videos or whatever. So maybe you did say it, I just didn't hear it. But I still haven't heard this man's name. Heard him say the name of his channel. So again, is it Loop Op, as in Operation Short Op, Loop Op, or Loop Pop, Loopop? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have no idea what rock you're under, but okay. Yeah, Loopop. Go to YouTube, put in the search engine, and thank him. All right, he does excellent videos. It's pretty, it's pretty basic. I mean, it's straightforward and easy to, I guess, follow along and watch. He doesn't do any real theatrics. He's kind of just short to the point, giving you information. All right, there's a lot of information there, and yeah, I mean, I think more people are definitely watching you, because 19,000 subscribers seems bogus. It should definitely be double, triple that, because the videos it's like Mark Dottie. He don't do them as much, but Mark Dottie, when he was doing the synthesizers a lot, he was just, the way he spoke, his voice was nice, and how he, explained things, it just worked. But this guy is giving you a menu, all right? The time it takes to sit down and put 310, I'm start talking about this and all, he doing that for you. So if you just want to go there and say, I want to know how to, and then you go to the video and you can see right to the minute where he's talking about this particular feature that maybe you trying to get some better understanding of. So okay, so I watched his second. I'm like, all right, it's the sound of it kind of sounds, kind of like the other one. However, it maybe, I don't, because it's hard for me to say by just listening to them and not hearing them side by side, but it seems as though, and I don't want to say this like for fact, and maybe I'm just being kind of led by the narrative by everybody else and what they're saying, but it actually seems to be a little bit more punchier and snap. So the bass is hitting, although the bass on the other one wasn't that it wasn't hitting, it didn't have the decay. So this seems to have a little more, not a lot, but it does seem to have a little bit more decay to it, and that snap on the snare seems to be a little better. Now, I thought the hi-hats on the original were pretty good, but I heard Bo say he didn't really like the original. So it really does, it's personal preference. Everybody's it's gonna vary. Ain't everybody's not gonna love one piece. I mean, there's somebody gonna be like, nah, I don't really like that, It's just the way it is. And so it does seem to have a little bit more boom, ka, like a nice snap to it. However, again, I don't want to really project that out there, but that is the narrative by the three gentlemen that I saw videos talking about it. So first was Arturia, second was Loop Op, third was Bo Beats. Now Bo Beats' video is artistic. He's getting to some more video editing, so it's a visual. It's refreshing because it's not staying stagnant, kind of layout or whatever. So he's got like a little mix to it, kind of give you some visual stuff. When it gets out to the information, it's kind of repetitive. I mean, everybody's gonna say the same thing. This is that, and so on and so forth, right? So I'm just looking to see. I watch everything to really see who says something different or whatever, and to see how how everybody talks about this one particular piece of gear. And so again, listening to Bo, it kind of he gave his input. He thought the hi-hats on here on the new one on the Impact was better than the original, and there were some other things that he didn't like and some things that he did like. I suggest you go check that. Again, I don't know where Rocky you've been under. You don't know Bo Beats, but go in and BOBEATS, Bo Beats, put in the YouTube search engine and thank him because he has a lot of videos, a lot of information that he's given. So the next person I saw was Corey over at Beat People. Now, I believe his channel is Beat People, BEATPPL. Not his tag. I've heard him say, we don't beat people, we are beat people, as in the beat, whatever. Okay, you get it. If you don't, catch up, I don't know. So yeah, so I checked out his. Now, his video was, because the way Corey does his reviews automatically isn't, I would say, is a little less traditional. Like he's not, it's a little less traditional. Like it's a little, like even his beat pattern, all right? He has like that triple on his, so everything is not, it's a little off, which is what I like because now we have contrast. And I thought Corey's, out of the three, I liked his because he really showed it with the other modular gear, showing how it hooked up with the new Arturia Mini sequencer, the Mini S. He hooked it up to that and show how it, he didn't really go far into a whole lot of showings or whatnot, but he did kind of show what he was using it for, which is mainly the filter. So he ran it through the Arturia Mini S, since the Impact doesn't have a filter. So they took away the filter, but they gave you distortion. Because one of the gripes was, how is this a brute with no brute factor? And they still didn't put a brute factor on there. So I believe that's going to be one of the things that's going to be on the new drum brew when it ever comes out. Only makes sense, because why? You got to have the brute factor. So on this one, the Impact, they gave it distortion. Still not brute factor, however, it's better than not having the distortion. Because from what I heard, the distortion really changed that character of the sound, which now makes the box bigger right in the box without you having to use pedals and so on and so forth. So after watching all the three, the running thing that they kind of all said was that it was more punchy and a little bit more snappy. And again, it seems as though that's what I was hearing, but I don't want to say that because maybe I'm being subjectively convinced, or however you want to phrase it, by what they're saying. But whatever, it definitely seems to be a little a different characteristic, and there's no doubt that the color is a color option, and the distortion definitely changed the color or the tone right in the box. That definitely gives it a different sound than the original if you're just going side by side. So I'm thinking, yes, I like it because of the size factor. I like the fact that they kind of added some things and there's a different characteristic. Performance-wise, I think it's going to be a a pleasure to have. If you don't have any drum machine, it doesn't sample, so it doesn't load samples, play samples. This is a pure analog machine. There is no saving. So this is like old gear, I guess you can say. Like this is a step back in one hand and a step forward in another hand. This is strictly about the moment. You know, and whatever you need to do, you got to do it then. There is no loading it back up and all of that. So this is the tool, and so you need to figure out how to use it best for you, whether it be performance or in studio. You use it, you know, how you use it for your purpose. Which leads me to my next train of thought that I had about watching the videos about the impact, was that again, I gotta give a applause for Arturia. Now, Corso gave me this phrase because I just like the fact that Arturia gave out some units. All right, it seems that Corey was included this time because I don't know if he was around. I could be wrong on that. I don't know if he was in the Mini 2S when they dropped it. I know Luke Pop was. I know Bo Beach was, and so they seem to be in the pipeline, if you will, to get the gear to show off, right? And so he gave me this. He was like, oh, okay, they're using mid-level influencers. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that was a term, but I was like, all right, mid-level, and yeah, you know, they give it to somebody. So it's kind of like celebrities, all right? So you pay him, the celebrity person, to stand there and to really just sit in front of the gear and hope you get a couple suckers that'll buy it just because such and such was buy it, all right? But somebody like us, and I'm not even gonna say us because I don't feel like I've earned my place at the table just yet. However, when I come, I'm coming guns blazing. But okay, I ain't putting enough work. Cool, I'm cool with that. Congratulations to those gentlemen that did get some units to have or to use or whatever. That's dope. Definitely feels, you know, like I can't wait for the day to, you know, to have that, like, knowing that I got something that the world ain't got yet. I'm about to, because I'm telling you now, I'm selling units. I'm moving units. Hands down, I'm moving units. Without a doubt. If I like it. If I'm in love with it, like, what? Units off the shelf. I mean, I watched this guy, John G. Oh my God, man. So, shouts out to Arturo because I think that is smart. You're gonna spend how much money in marketing? And I broke this down once before. Genius, hello. So shouts out to them for giving it to the people for the people. You know, it just makes sense. It's just too, you know, it just makes too much sense. But I will say, I, John G, the day that you do decide companies, Arturia, Roland, Korg, Electron, whoever, Behringer, I love to have your gear to review it. But there is a caveat. There is a caveat. Once you give it to me for review, you're giving it to me. I'm not giving it back. I'm not going to send it to the next person. It's mine. So that's the only caveat I have, because I hear Sonic State always, I got to send this unit. Ain't no sending back. So I just need you to know that now. And I'll repeat this. If you choose to, and I welcome it, please, let's do business. Let's do something. It's only gonna help you. It's only gonna help you. I mean, it's a win-win. You're gonna give me that unit. I don't care if it's a Matrix brute. Get that to me? And I'm not sending it back. No, I'm going to review this mud. I'm going to show it off and all the bells and whistles. But it's mine. All right, enough of that. So, because we ain't even got there yet. So it's you talking. You saying this, John G, and you ain't even earned your stripes yet, boy. So, yeah, there's that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about before we get off of the impact, I don't want to leave just yet because there's still some meat on the bone with drum machines that I feel like has not and can be still utilized that I would love to have Now, first off, the most original drum machine has to go to Move. They get that award. The D-Fam is like we haven't seen anything quite like that. So that they get the award for that, hands down. But okay, so Arturia, I'm loving how y'all got this ecosystem going. Like I said, the micro series should be coming next, the smaller version. So dope. I can already see it. I know y'all got that in production. I'm not even gonna play y'all like that. I know y'all got it next year. Okay, so we'll be hearing about that soon. But Arturia, I feel like y'all are so innovative and so dope, but you're missing something. So it would have been nice if the Impact would have had a patch bay on it. Let me say that again. It would have been nice if the Drum Brew Impact would have had a patch bay, so that I can start to, since it's all analog circuitry. I don't know exactly because I'm not a synthesizer builder and I don't know it fully enough to explain exactly what I'm saying. I just know that it must be possible to put a patch bay on the drum machine to give it that extra sound manipulating abilities. I like how I phrased that. So with that being said, y'all off to the races. And I mean, that goes for everybody. If no one's thought of that or whatever, all right, the first to production to give me a drum machine with a patch bay. Hello, where are you? Arturia, I say, between you and Behringer, I feel like y'all could be first to the table with that. Korg, hell, this could be a resurrection in the gear world, because you're dying a slow death. I mean, the apps are amazing. The big keyboards, you're continuing that, but when it comes to the little gear, ever since Tat left, man, I'm gonna have to edit this and put some sad music behind this, because my beloved Korg, my beloved Korg. A moment of silence. Yeah. It was a hell of a run though, man. It was a hell of a run. It was a hell of a run. I mean, it was just bop, bop, bop. I mean, bop. At some point, you can't just keep holding the crown. Like, you gonna have to give something else. And here in Arturia, boy, I'm talking about you and Behringer, man. Woo. Y'all making a lot of noise. I mean, a lot of noise is being made. The other piece of gear I wanted to speak on was the mod. This is the one that I originally was gonna have gear chat about today. Was just a modular electronics Skulpt. I wanted to talk about that because, all right, who, modular who? I don't even. Okay, I know I heard that name before. All right, what's this? Oh, okay. What is this? I'm a sucker. I love little tidbits and gadgets. I mean, what can I say, man? What can I say? All right. I'm an electronics geek. I love it. So yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. And then next thing you know, I get a text. Man, did you know Arturia already dropped a new drum brew? Huh? What? Oh! That's why I come in fresh. I don't want to let this go. Out of nowhere. Perfect for gear chat. So, yeah, so the modular electronics, that scope. I like it. Of course I like it. John G, you like everything. I mean, there's nothing about it that make me not like it. I mean, I'll say that much. I really love the fact that there's somebody that doesn't have a whole lot. I think they have more modular stuff, but they don't have like a whole bunch of gear. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't have any of their product in my arsenal. So I want to get that tool in my tool shed. That's really it. Sound wise, it kind of sounded more on the clean side. I believe it's analog, but it seems like it had a digitalness to it. I don't know, but listen, that's just what was my general thoughts when I saw it. I just like the fact that it looked cool, it looked different. I know that it's kind of a sucker move that I'm being sold right by the company, like, oh, but it's really kind of like it's not. I don't believe it's new, like how the Matrix Brute was new and the Novation's Peak is new. I believe it's kind of more of the same, but I still like the fact that it has a form factor that puts me in the mind of a extra large core Voca. And I'm still, because I just can't seem to let that. I can't let Core go, but I feel like the Voca XL still would be so dope. I mean, we would all dive on that. Everybody would dive in for the Voca XL, and so that's what this kind of puts me in that bucket. So I'm thinking about that in the Uno by what's the company? Uno, the one by the company that just started. This is their first synth. I'm drawing a blank, but that one is new. So it kind of put me in the mind of those. Like, I would love to put those two together because they're both new to the game, and to see how these new toys play. Right? Let's go here. We got essentially some new sounds here. So that's really my gear chat for this week. Was our top off the list was Arturia Impact, and then followed by the modular electronics Skulpt. For what I know, the Drum Brute Impact will be sold, is actually ready for pre-order right now on Sweetwater. You can go ahead and get yourself in line. It's going for $2.99, brand new. And the Skulpt is not on Sweetwater, because I believe it's one of those gear where there's still a smaller companies that I don't believe they're large enough, or they just haven't put Sweetwater on their approved list of vendors, one or the other. But I believe it's an issue of modular electronics not being large enough to supply the demand that Sweetwater is going to say. They're going to say, look, send me yada units. I need, 5,000 units. Well, wait a minute. Oh, we ain't got that many. Small company. I think it's either that or maybe a mixture of the two. However, Sweetwater does not have it. So you're probably going to have to reach out to my next source of shopping would be Reverb. From their Reverb, I would go to Perfect Circuit Audio. Between those three, you're going to find, and then obviously, Craigslist and all the used places, Reverb is used too, but to get your out of production gear and to also get secondhand gear, just gear that just came out, but you don't want to spend that money. You want to get it for a better price. So yeah, gear chat. As always, I don't want to forget anybody. I didn't forget about you, but I did almost slide on the fact that to everybody that got that new piece of gear, you've been saving your twos and fews, you've been working hard, and you finally got it. Maybe you've been in line for something for a minute and it finally shipped. You know how that be. I hope whatever it is that you got, that you're excited, that it's all that you thought it would be and more, and you're making dope music. So shouts out to you. Whatever it is, put it in the comments. Congratulations to you. As always, I am John G. This is John G TV. We're going to call this the John G You Need to Shave edition. Class dismissed right now. I'm gonna just vibe out. You know what's next. You know what's next. Matter of fact, let's get to it. Let that ride a little bit. wait till I get this shit mixed, mastered. I gotta get this out. Right now, this is open room audio. You don't see, because I didn't want no bullshit this time. So I apologize for the inferior audio, people. But vibe with me. Making bomb beats, John G. Making bomb beats. I'm making bomb beats. I'm making bomb beats. John G, making bomb beats. John G, making bomb beats. Making bomb beats. I'm making bomb beats. John G, making bomb beats. John G, making bomb beats. Making bomb beats. I'm making bomb beats. John G, making bomb beats. John G, making bomb beats. Making bomb beats. I'm making bomb beats. Making bomb beats. I'm making bomb beats. I'm making bomb beats. Fade. Don't do it, John G. To black. Don't do it, John G. Come back, John G. Step into the light, John G. I'm making bomb beats.
Yeah, you see, this is John G.